Morning. How y'all doing? Pull up the floor, pull up the step. Just sit down and be comfortable, okay? Sit down anywhere you want. Hi. How are you? Are you good? Okay. As long as you're happy. Zach was in 3rd grade. And where he went to school, there were several buildings. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th graders. And there was a principal that oversaw all those buildings. Well, the 4th graders, because they were the biggest kids, they kind of took over. And so they were the ones that were supposed to collect the lunch money. They were the ones that were supposed to get hall passes for the kids. And they were in charge of everything. Well, it was hard for the 4th graders to oversee all the different buildings. So they got a 3rd grader, Zach, to help them. Now, the other 3rd graders thought that Zach was a traitor. Because sometimes those 4th graders were bullies. And they charged more for lunch than they were supposed to. And they charged more for the milk and juice than they were supposed to. And so Zach became a part of that. So like if juice was 50 cents, he would say it was 75. And he'd put the extra quarter in his pocket. Or the milk was 50 cents, he would say it's 75. And he'd put the extra quarter in his pocket. But the 3rd graders, they just didn't like him. Because they said, you're friends with those 4th graders who are mean to us and pick on us. You're a 3rd grader like us, you should be helping us. But no, Zach just kept doing what the 4th graders wanted. As a matter of fact, he was so good at it that the 4th graders made him an honorary 4th grader. They said, you have just as much power and authority as us 4th graders. Well, there was a new principal coming. And Zach had heard things about this new principal. How this new principal was fair, was nice, helped kids whenever they had problems, and made sure there was no bullying going on. Now, Zach was short. Zach was shorter than all the rest of the 3rd graders. Zach was shorter than most of the 2nd graders. So when the principal was coming down the hall, all of the 3rd graders ran to the door to see the new principal. Zach couldn't see. So Zach pushed his desk up near the kids and climbed up on top of the desk so he could see the principal. Now the principal wasn't planning on stopping in that room. The principal was just going to stop and say hi. But when the principal saw Zach standing up on the desk, the principal said, young man, what's your name? My name is Zach. Why are you standing on the desk? Because I wanted to see you. Really, Zach? Why did you want to see me? Because I've heard so many neat things about you, that you're fair and you're nice and you help kids and you don't let anybody get bullied. Well, Zach, I'll tell you what. I'm going to stop in the classroom and visit you. So why don't you put your desk back and I'll go sit in your desk with you. Zach was so happy. He climbed down and he ran and he hugged the principal. He was so filled with joy. He couldn't believe it, that the principal was going to come and sit at his desk with him. But then Zach started thinking about the fact that the principal was nice and helped people and didn't let anybody get bullied. So he looked at the principal and he said, Principal, I've not always done the best things. I've got a lot of money because I cheated kids. So I'm going to give half my money to the kids that don't have any money for milk or juice. And if I took any quarters from people, I'm going to give them back 4 quarters. And people, the other 3rd graders, were complaining that the principal was going to go sit with Zach. Zach's mean. Zach bullies us. Zach steals our money. And the principal said, no. Zach got what's going on. He knows why I'm a principal and what I want to do in my school. So I'm going to go sit with Zach because he knows what it's all about. Well, that's kind of a modern day story of the gospel today. The guy in the gospel was Zacchaeus, so I shortened it to Zach. And the 3rd graders, they were the Jewish people. And the principal That's Jesus. Zacchaeus was so happy to see Jesus, he climbed up a sycamore tree. Could you imagine an adult climbing up a tree? When's the last time you saw an adult climb a tree? Where'd you see it? In a movie. But in real life, have you ever seen it? Did you see it in real life? Okay. But you climb trees too? Okay, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful if you climb trees, okay? Be careful, make sure an adult's around. Okay, as long as you're not gonna fall and get hurt, okay? Okay. So, anyway, you gotta get back to our story, okay? So, I was trying to figure out what it was that Zach, or Zacchaeus, what was it that would cause somebody to give away half their money and pay back 4 times what they stole from other people? I couldn't figure it out. Why would Zacchaeus or Zach change their ways so quickly like that? I couldn't figure it out. Well, I found it in the first reading today. And I'm going to invite the people out in the pews, all the big boys and girls out there, to turn page 140 in the Sunday's Word, Miss Celeste. Because I want them to hear these words. Now, the person that wrote this book of wisdom is talking about God. And this is what the person says. It's in the 5th line down. God, you love all things that are. You loathe nothing that you have made. For what you hated, you were not of fashion. And how could a thing remain unless you willed it, or preserved, and it had been called forth by you? But you spare all things, because they are yours, O Lord, and lover of souls. God, you love everything. God, you love everyone. God, you don't hate anything you've made, because if you hated it, you wouldn't even made it. And God, the fact that it's still here is because you love it and you keep it going. And that's what we can say about each and every one of us. God says, I love you. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. You are so special to me. I love you. I love your soul. I think Zacchaeus and Zach knew that. That somehow it's like, wow, I'm loved. I'm loved. And it changes. That's what can be scary sometimes about accepting the love that Jesus has. Because sometimes when Jesus loves us, we change. And it can scare some people. There are times when people say, oh, I am comfortable just the way I am. I don't want to change. But God says, I got more for you. I got better for you. Yeah, I know, God, but I'm comfortable. I don't want to change. God says, but I want you to. And that's why he sent Jesus. To help us change and to help us know how to change. To be more like Jesus. So maybe the way you treat your parents or grandparents, maybe it could be a little bit better. But because Jesus loves you, well, if Jesus loves me, shouldn't I love my parents? Shouldn't I love my grandparents? Yep. Brothers and sisters? Oh boy. Yep. We got to improve on loving our brothers and sisters, especially if they're mean to us, or they pick on us, or they get in our stuff, or they always bother us when we're with our friends. Yep. When you know that Jesus loves you, you've got to love your brothers and sisters. And the kids at school, the other kids don't play. They get picked on. Maybe their clothes aren't as nice as yours, or maybe they don't look as nice as you, or maybe they don't behave as nice as you. But because you know Jesus loves you, yep, you got to try to love them too. You got to be nice to them and help them. And everything that we're learning right here, right now, all those big boys and girls out there behind you are learning too. It's scary to believe that their lives can change. But when they know that Jesus loves them. And in the story of Zacchaeus, just like Zacchaeus received Jesus with joy. And the principal, Zach received the principal with joy. So happy to see the principal, so happy to see Jesus. Well, we get Jesus in so many ways. Jesus speaks to us in the gospel. Do we receive it with joy? Or do we let our minds wander and think about our own things? Jesus said, whenever two or more are gathered in his name, he's present. Every time you come to church, look at all the people that are here. So Jesus is here. So do we look forward to coming to church with joy? Or do we go, I gotta go to church again? And when you get old enough to receive Holy Communion, you're receiving Jesus. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. And there are some people that don't think about it. They don't come forward with joy to receive Jesus. They just kind of forget about it. So not only does Jesus love us, but when we realize how much he loves us, it causes us to have joy, to be really, really happy. Jesus said, Zacchaeus, I must come to your house today. The principal said, Zach, I must sit in your desk today. All Zacchaeus had to do to Jesus was say, yes. Yes, come to my house, be with me. All Zach had to say to the principal was, yes, principal, come and sit with me in my desk. So all you have to do is say yes whenever you experience Jesus, and yes to the way he wants you to live. So what are you going to say to Jesus? Oh, I know you guys can do better than that. Yes! What are you going to say to Jesus? Yes! And what do you think those big boys and girls out there are going to say to Jesus? Yes! I hope so. You go encourage them, okay? I'll see you later.